All right, hey, Shalom, Makim. Shalom. All right, before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. I also want to say peace, safety, and much love to the elect brothers laboring around the four corners of the earth. All right, risking their lives and their freedom to get this word out and making their calling of election sure. All right, and Shalom to these sisters. All right, there's the brothers here from the GMS Atlanta camp, got a Ratazah and Barazal here. The spirit hit us. We was, vibing out in the spirit. And basically, we're going to go into proper growth and acquisition of wisdom and the levels of the truth. All right. You got to understand in the truth that is levels to growth. All right. As a babe, you start off with milk. All right. If you want to properly grow as a babe, you go into the milky subjects, all right, the basics, all right, because milk helps you do what? It helps you grow, and then you start graduating to other levels, all right, and then you start acquiring wisdom through your experiences. So I want to start at Proverbs chapter 4, verse 1. Barbershop.
It's Proverbs 4 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father,
mm-hmm.
and attend to know understanding."
Right, because we all are children being built up in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. All right. So when you first come into the truth, you cracking the spiritual womb. All right, and you coming in as a child. So the Most High right here is he's instructing you how to develop. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Verse 2, "For I give you good doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Forsake ye not my law."
That's right. Forsake ye not my law. Continue.
"For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me also and said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments and live."
That's right. So the scriptures say, "Let my heart retain thy words." All right. So when you come into this faith, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, he takes you through certain situations to see if you're going to remember these words that he wrote unto you so that you can apply it. All right. When you apply the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, that's how you grow. That's where your growth comes from. Application of the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. All right. So, for younger brothers and brothers like myself, and brothers like Ratazah and Barzal that we've been around for 8-9 years. All right. Some brothers have been teaching 6 years, 7 years. All right. We've gotten to a point, and other brothers have as well gotten to a point where we have to, at the level that we have to grow according to that level. All right. We have to properly grow according to that level. We have to use the wisdom that we've attained thus far on this walk and apply it to make it to the next level. All right. So it's an actual walk. A brother that's been in the camp for 2 years or 3 years, you can't possibly try to catch up with a brother that's been laboring for 7, 8 years. Right? You're not going to be able to catch him. All right. Because he's going through certain things within this walk that's helped escalate his growth. Right.
That's right. It says, verse 5, it says, "Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not."
That's right, forget it not. All right. So another part of this walk, and another part of your growth is what? Like we said, the sincere milk. Another part of it is reproof. All right, correction. Another part of growing in the faith is trials and tribulations.
That's right.
What's some other things that helps you grow?
Fasting.
Yeah.
Praying, getting over doctrine, communication.
Mm-hmm.
All those things are put in place to actually have you so you can grow in the proper balance. But just like a plant, when a plant the seed is being germinated in the earth, and it starts to actually get into the growing stages, it's a lot for it to sustain and survive. It has to be trimmed a certain way. It has to be in a certain position to get sunlight, to get water. Has to, can't be overwatered.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. You can't overindulge into anything because it's a balance.
Right.
So I'm trying to read the whole Bible in a day, which I know, of course, brothers is not, but I'm saying that we say that expressly, you know, of just overindulging, trying to do too much. Because at the same time, and it's true, you got to practice what you preach. This isn't just a fantasy novel or some type of a sci-fi book that we jumping into, and we just want to just say things just because it sounds good and it's actually stimulating to the senses, so to speak.
Yeah,
you got to take this truth and this information, and you got to utilize it. These are tools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't see somebody on a job with all kind of tools wrapped around their waist just to look like the man. They're going to use those tools, and these tools that we actually engaging in, which is the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord. We have to listen, you know, read about this wisdom and read about this knowledge and the instructions, learning how to pray and what words to actually be installed in us, because we're going to need all this wisdom, you know, for the times that's actually going to come. Time of Jacob's trouble.
That's right, bro. If I can say, man, it's laying back on what the brother said. You know, it's not just about being a human blue letter, man. You can just memorize a bunch of scriptures, quote things. Nah, man, you gotta be able to apply what you read, man. You know, the scriptures is supposed to instruct you. You know, it ain't just for Saturday at camp when you on the camera. Nah, just all throughout the week, man. You're supposed to be following the scriptures. Right? It's supposed to guide you how to live and how to live your life, man. Mm-hmm. You know, so not just about memorizing a bunch of scriptures. You're supposed to get into the basics of the word, you know, and then grow from there, man. And really let the whole word just take you over, man.
That's
you know?
right.
This is, like I said earlier, it's not just about a Saturday thing at camp. It's this Israelite thing, if you want to call it that. It's a lifestyle, man. You know, you got it. That's right.
Yeah, you can go back to Proverbs 4.
This is Proverbs 4, and I'm gonna start back at verse 5. It says, "Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not.
Mm-hmm.
Neither decline from the words of my mouth."
Go ahead.
Verse 6, "Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee."
That's right. It says, "Forsake her not." Who is the her talking about? When you read in the Apocrypha, it says wisdom is called by her name. All right. So it's talking about wisdom. Forsake her not.
Right.
All right. Don't let her go. All right. You got to be attached to this truth. All right. No matter what. And I want to say shalom to the brother on the comment board as well. All right. Hey, shalom, you know.
Shalom,
but you know, hey, attach yourself to the spirit of Yahweh Shah so that you can properly grow. This is not a thing of regurgitation,
right?
All right. Everything that you hear and everything that you read and everything that you learn, you just want to spit it out. That's not what the truth is about. The truth is about everything that you learn and everything that you study and everything that you soak in, you're able to apply it.
Right.
Right. And when you apply what you've learned according to the spirit of Yahweh Shah, you move differently. You become a new man. You know, that's how you grow. That's how you develop. All right. That's how you acquire wisdom. Because now that you read these words, all right, and you've gotten to a point where you know how to apply these words, when you face with that same situation again, you're going to think back to I've been here before. I can do it like this.
Right.
That's how you become a new creature. That's how you become a new man. All right. Continue, brother.
That's right. Verse 7. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding."
That's right. Because when you start applying the knowledge, all right, that you've learned, when you start applying this to your walk, then your understanding it grows. And that's what gives you the wisdom. Right?
Right.
Because now you understand what you know. You think you know what you're reading, and you think you know what the scriptures are saying until you're faced in that situation, and then you apply it. Then you fully understand what it's saying.
Yeah. And a major example of an individual that had to go through it, that is one of our forefathers, King Solomon.
Yeah.
When he received the knowledge and wisdom, he got tested with the wisdom that he actually possessed. You know, he had to go through trials and tribulations to actually indicate his spiritual level. He had to get tested and strengthened, and actually apply. Just like the brother said, the wisdom that he actually absorbed, he had to. It was important for him to use that as in the position of rulership. Right. So the same thing with us. As brothers continue in the faith and start from a man in the truth from a couple of months listening to a couple of years teaching and exhorting and pushing. You got to actually use the wisdom to continue, because every year and every day by day, so to speak, we always fighting and we always facing trials, but we always got to know how to overcome those things, man. With what? The wisdom. That's right. The spirit of the Lord. If you in a basement, Paul spoke about that, knowing how to abase and abound. If you're in a time of abasement, when you're going through financial woes and relationship woes and infirmities, you got to know how to deal with that situation.
That's right.
And on the other side of the coin, you got to know how to deal with, hey, what if you get blessed with a massive amount of wealth? Right. Different things like that. You got certain men that got blessed and dealt with the right things, and you got certain men, just like it reads in the scripture, certain rich men that didn't know how to, that didn't want to enter into the spirit of the Lord because they had much riches. So it's always about balance. This truth deals heavily with balance. You got to have your wisdom. You got to have the knowledge. You got to have the understanding.
Yeah, this truth is a package deal. That's right. But you gotta have the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You gotta have that application on how to deal with certain things. Yeah. This is a thing where we just out in the streets reading the Bible just for the camera. All right. Nah, man. It's a way of life, man. You gotta know how to move and how to shake it in this world, man. That's right. Satan is out there, man. Yeah. If you don't got this word to protect you, if you're not walking according to the rules or the guidelines of how about you're gonna get got, man. Caught, man. You're gonna get caught out there, man.
Yeah, the wisdom actually delivers you from Satan.
That's right.
You can continue on that, and I got one after you.
Okay. This is verse 8. It says, exhort her, and she shall promote thee.
Yeah, see? Yeah, it says exalt her, meaning what? Lift her up. Yeah, meaning she has the direction. All right? Whenever you exalt something, you do what? Is lifted up. It's put over something. So if you exalt wisdom over your own self, she guides you. She's over you. She directs you. All right? And therefore, henceforth, it causes you to be promoted. You grow. That's right. You grow in the faith because wisdom is literally leading you. It's literally directing your path through the valley of the shadow of death. Right. This is not, the truth is really not a thing of just shit talking. Right. It may seem like, the men at Great Millstone is nothing but shit talkers, but that's not what it is. We really come out in the spirit of the Lord because the spirit of the Lord is angry. And we prophesy the downfall of America. But as we were maneuvering through Babylon off the cameras, we applying these words. That's right. And that's why you see brothers that's been laboring for 30 plus years, 20 plus years, 15 plus years, 10 plus years, 9 years. Because behind the scenes, they applying these words. They're not just on the camera popping a good game. They literally applying these words behind the scenes. That's why you get promoted. You advance. You grow. You get further in your walk. Like the scriptures say. What's that scripture say? Wax old in our work. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna get some real quick if y'all brothers don't mind, and we can go right back to that. This is Ecclesiastes 6 and 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age.
Yes, gather wisdom from the youth up. A lot of brothers came in when they were young, man. Some brothers was 16, 17. Yeah. Me personally, I was 19 when I came into the faith. So I can read that again.
Come. It says, Sirach 6 and 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up.
Yeah, so you young brothers, man, take heed, man. Don't think this is a game, man. Take advantage of the time you have, man. For you young brothers that's out there. Go ahead.
All right. It says, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age.
Right. And like Brother quoted earlier, wax old in thy work, man. You know, you got to be in this thing for the long haul, right? If you latch on to wisdom early, you know, you continue with it, man. It's basically going to become a part of you, man. You know, this wisdom will become you know, basically part of your DNA, some spiritual DNA, so to speak.
Yeah,
and then you'll know how to maneuver, how to conduct yourself in this world, man.
Yeah, and it'll get to a point where you know, when you start going through the motions, it'll become normal. You won't even have to be, oh, what scripture is that? You literally gonna do it.
Right.
Because your spirit is literally being engineered off of wisdom. So you get to a point in the walk, it's like you automatically gonna do what the spirit tells you to do because you following wisdom.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even people actually go into that, it's a step-by-step process where it talks about, you know, how to acquire something and make it secondhand. And then that word is unconscious competence. Because just like the brother said, we actually grow to the point of actually learning these scriptures to the point where it becomes secondhand. We do these things, you know, without actually having to think about it because it becomes a part of us. It's actually being hardwired in our spirit. That's why we read constantly. That's why the scriptures say in the law to put these put the words as frontlets in front of your eyes. That's why we wear the phylacteries. We put the scriptures on our doors.
Yep.
So that spirit always revolve and circulate in our mind, and our mind will always be, you know, generating with the spirit of the Lord. That's right.
But you don't what you had?
You can bring what you got because it's more to this.
You go ahead.
This is verse 19. It says, "Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits."
Yeah, and that goes into working. Because even when it comes down to wisdom, you have to work to get wisdom. Right? You have to actually put in a strong effort. That's why scriptures tell you in Proverbs the 6th chapter, go to the ant thou sluggard. You have to always be constantly examining these scriptures and assessing the information and learning. You can't just be sitting, okay, well, I know a couple of scriptures in Proverbs, right? I know a little bit in Romans and Revelation, I'm good with that. Nah, you gotta always, scriptures say, you know, strive for the master, right? Wax old in your work. Don't you ain't supposed to be waning. As your age grows, and it's true, your spirit should be growing.
Yeah.
You don't want to never depreciate in this truth. And the more you learn and the more information you acquire, you gotta take this different information to learn how to apply it in your daily life to actually get away from certain situations, to know how to deal with certain situations when you're dropped in them, and know the proper solutions to deal with those problems. Because a lot of people in the world, they'll have a lot of problems, but they don't have any solutions. So they'll act irrationally and emotionally because they don't have the logical wisdom to deal with whatever circumstance that they're actually being placed in. But we have the filter. We have the filtration, which is the words of the Lord, and it tells you how to deal with all situations, right? From your children to your wives, to brethren, your diet, to enemies, you know, to the economy, to the beasts. And it's not all written. It's not written here for no reason. It's all for us. So it's all for our pureness and our survival. You know.
I'm gonna continue. Yeah, it says, "And wait for her good fruits, for thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon."
And it starts with planting these seeds of the truth in your mind and watering it. That's why Paul spoke about it. One man watered, one man planted, for another water, and the Most High give the increase. So when that word is being planted in your mind, you gotta water it. Water what? Praying. That's right. Taking up a fast, understanding how, you know, recycling the wisdom in your mind to use it in your day to day. So when the fruits are actually are produced, you know how to you eat those. That's why what is fruit? Fruit is a substance for consuming, right? So when you produce that fruit, you actually have, you know, the actual the produce that you actually physically see that you can actually utilize. You know, because it starts from that one stage in the growth and the development to the point where you grow and you become, like the scriptures say, wise as a serpent. wisdom actually grows into you. You know how to maneuver. You know how to actually, deal with, high positions and circumstances and different things of that nature.
That's right.
And I got a precept. The brother has just walked out, but this is Sirach 11:10. Matter of fact, I'll start at. Let's see. Sirach 11. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and keep going with what you had.
Like in Proverbs 4. Well, I can finish up here.
Yeah, finish up right there.
This is verse 20, Sirach chapter 6, verse 20. It says, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. And that's where you would see certain men, they will reach a certain point in the truth. And because they haven't been attaining unto wisdom and instruction, they fall off at that point because they lose. They don't know what to do.
Right.
The scriptures is not there because they've been being a jive turkey and messing around. So then when you get to this point in your walk and you get tried, now it's time for you to apply this particular part of the knowledge that you've attained. You don't know how to apply it.
Right.
That's why I say she's unpleasant to the unlearned. Right? That's why the scriptures say what? Give diligence to make your calling of election sure. You got to be in this thing, man. You got to be locked in here. All right? Because you might think you put 5 years in, 6 years in, man, you can get to a point where you don't know what to do now.
Right.
You don't know what to do.
Your writer's block.
Yeah,
That's spiritual writer's block, so to speak.
That's right.
Saul had to go through it. When it said the Most High didn't deal with him through Urim and Thummim, didn't deal with him in any aspect of the spirit of the Lord. The Lord actually cut off his face from you, his spirit from you. If you don't do what you're supposed to do in His truth.
Yeah, you got men that come in the truth with these ulterior motives. Man. They got their own agenda. They try to seek a platform, and they forget what this truth is really about, man. What we're dealing with, man. That's why when you get in those situations, you drop the ball, man. You don't take heed to the wisdom that the scriptures is giving you, man. This is how we're supposed to live our lives according to, man. Not to be seen of men or to show that I know all these scriptures and I can get all the views and the hits, and it ain't about that, man. It's what are you doing in your off time, man? Are you really walking according to the laws of Yahweh? Yeah. Or are you faking the funk, man?
God, because only time won't tell.
That's right.
Time always tells.
Yep.
It reveals what they say. Time reveals all secrets.
That's right.
That's why I say everything in darkness shall come to light.
Mm-hmm.
Through what time?
That's right.
Yeah. And you will start seeing like I thought you would think I thought this dude was
right.
was on point.
Right.
Like after light, like y'all done.
Yeah.
Like all these other cats that came within Great Millstone and it came within all the congregations throughout Great Millstone. You like, damn, man, I thought this dude was on point. I thought he knew.
That's right.
But he didn't know how to apply it.
That's right.
Because he didn't fully set it into his spirit.
That's right.
He just wanted to get the knowledge and use it for something else, man.
Yep.
So when it was time to apply it in crunch time, they didn't want to apply it because it was a stone and trial, man. It hurt, man. It hurt this truth hurt your ego, man.
Yeah.
It hurt your spirit.
Right.
It wounds you, so that you can develop.
Yep. That's right.
That's why I'm gonna go to that verse. It says, verse 21. It says, "She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere be long." So a lot of men, they fake the funk up to a certain amount of time. Then this truth started getting too hard. That's why proper growth is very essential, man. Don't go beyond your measure.
Right.
Just stick with your measure. Because when you start trying to step into the league of the big dogs, all right, you got to consider that league comes with heavy demons as well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just look at the glitz and the glamour of knowing a lot. You got to look at the backlash, at the repercussions of the scripture say what? Bars out to whom much is given, much is required.
Yep.
All right. So if you know a lot, that means what? The more you know, the more you gotta apply.
And the harder it's gonna be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just like Job, everybody didn't have to drink of the cup of Job. Even in the scriptures, the men that walk with Yahushua, everybody, couldn't deal with the sufferings of Yahushua. Many people couldn't deal with the sufferings of Peter, because they had the wisdom and they had the spirit to endure.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So even when you know a lot and you go through a lot, it's, like the brother said, everything comes with a cost.
That's right.
And that's why the scriptures tell you to count what? The cost. Of course, right? You got to count that cost that it takes to even get up on a level.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
I got quick precepts. The brother mentioned this is Ecclesiastes 3:21. Seek not out things that are too hard for thee.
That's right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, read it again, bro.
Yep, this is Sirach, Ecclesiastes 3:21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
That's right. So just be content. The scriptures say godliness with contentment is great gain.
That's right.
All right, or is gain. All right. So it benefits you to just understand what level you on. But you have some guys, they come into the truth and they look at it as a competition.
Right.
This ain't a competition.
Yeah, and if you keep competing with anything, you're competing with yourself.
Yeah.
To overcome that old you.
Because you your own worst enemy.
Right.
All right. The pride is the biggest demon you're gonna have to fight in this truth.
Yeah.
Pride.
Yep.
You think the so-called white man is the biggest enemy. The biggest enemy is your inner demon.
Yeah.
The so-called white man is the outer demon.
Yeah, counterpart of Satan.
He's the counterpart, the physical counterpart of Satan. All right. But you got to fight that inner demon that's been pumped on you through the so-called white man. All right. Because you know what the so-called white man does. We know what he's capable of. We know what he's done. All right. We know what he's about. But you gotta take into consideration as well the energy that this devil has pumped into you being in the world. And you got to check that within yourself, because that is what can cause you your salvation.
That's right.
All right. It's that pride, that inner demon. So, that's why we wanted to go into this proper growth and acquisition of wisdom. All right. When you acquire wisdom, it's through a period of time. All right. It's not overnight.
That's right.
And we say that because, and we say it humbly as we can. But the Spirit of the Most High, Yahushua, has allowed us to go thus far. And we're seeing that it takes time to develop. It takes time to get to a period of growth. It doesn't come overnight, man. Even if you know a lot, you can know the whole Bible front to back until it's time to apply it. That's when you become a skilled man.
Yeah, you can't put this truth in the microwave for 30 seconds. Then you're going, nah, man. You gotta deal in patience with the portion that the Most High gave you, and just be humble, man. Just allow the Spirit to deal with you. Stay in order, because that's a major thing, man. Stay in order, man. There's this power in order, man. Being humble, staying in order. Following the examples that the Most High put on earth. Beginning with the apostles and elders, man. Right. And just deal with the portion that the Lord gave you, man. And you're gonna grow from that. Yep.
That's right. Go ahead.
Sirach 11:20. Be steadfast in thy covenant and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work.
Beautiful. It says wax old in thy work, man. So in your mind, your spirit, you gotta have your spirit set up to be in it for the long haul.
That's right.
This ain't a phase. This is your heritage. This is your livelihood. This is your customs, your traditions. All right, your culture, your way of life, your way of thinking, your guide.
That's right.
Your power, man.
That's right.
Like the brother Ratazar said, man, it's power in these words.
That's right.
And as you continue to walk this journey, all right, you start to tap into more power. All right, you tap into more power as you continue to apply these words, until it's going to develop all the way up into a point that you're going to have an immense amount of understanding, man. Look at the apostles. Look at the men that's laid the path through their labors, so that we can walk.
That's right.
They're the wisest men on the planet Earth. All right, because they didn't just read the Bible. All right. They didn't just read the Bible. They actually applied the scriptures. That's how they waxing old in their work, man. Because they started out just like us, young men. You know, just like us, and that, you know, probably late teens, early 20s.
Right.
When you speak to the apostles and elders, they'll tell you, yeah, I was young then when I first came in. But now you starting to see them wax old in their work, because why? They didn't cast off the spirit. They didn't cast off the words, man. They continue to apply them. If you don't apply these words, you're going to fall off.
Right.
It's easy. You know, and that's why, you know, it was said, you know, that 90%, probably 90% of men in Great Millstone wouldn't be able to survive back in the old days of One West and things of that nature, man. You know, it took a certain type of spirit to go through that, man. So you got to show reverence to that and respect to that, because through all of that, they still applied these words. That's why you got to maintain that level of respect, like the brother Ratazah just said. It's power and order.
That's right.
All right, moving as a cohesive unit, understanding that the brothers that's in the walk, that the spirit got set up to lead you, they ain't just popping game. They actually applying these words, and they showing it through their walk.
That's right.
You know.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation therein, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies.
Right. Seek out the wisdom of the ancient. Man. This is what the scriptures. You know, you're supposed to be seeking out. You know, studying, reading. You know, seeing certain. You know, reading about the examples that I've, you know, certain situations that our forefathers went through. You know, and then it mentioned prophecy, man. You know, but that's a staple in Great Millstone, man. Getting the apostles and elders, man. You know, scriptures is based on prophecy, man. You know, go ahead.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you gotta have your head in his book, so to speak, man. You know, you gotta be familiar, all right, with what our ancestors went through, man. All right, the great men in the scriptures, the prophets, all right, all right. Hell, if anybody, man, you're supposed to be putting with your house shine, man. That's right. You know, his walk, his ministry, you know, things that he went through, man. You know, and then you're supposed to see how it compare to now, man. Yeah. You know, because it don't change. We still living in Bible time, so to speak. It ain't stop. Yeah. You know,
right? That's right.
You know, it didn't stop, man.
A new kingdom, but you got to use the same wisdom to overcome it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why, you know, what the brothers is speaking about. You got to be occupied. You got to be locked in.
Right.
You got to know what it is, man.
That's right.
You got to know that this is an everlasting thing that we've embarked on. This is not just you know, something that's momentarily. All right. This is everlasting. That's the type of mind frame you got. Oh man, I got to live my life like this for the rest of my life, man. I like this, man.
That's right.
I actually, my spirit actually aligns with this way of living. That's how you grow properly. So then when it's time for you to get reproved, you good. Time to water.
You know it's beneficial. That's why scripture say Psalms 141 is anointing. You know, you can't do nothing against the truth before. And that's why you got to understand, which of course brothers know, but just always reiterate, we got to know what you're involved in. Right. You know, and always push this energy to connect closer and closer to the power that we actually praying to. But the more we pray, the more we involve ourselves in the spirit, the closer we get to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right.
Got a little bit more.
Okay.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
That's right. So how you gonna be there with subtle parables? Are you gonna actually be, your face gonna be etched in the scriptures?
Right.
No. How you gonna be there is when you apply it. All right. You in sync with the scriptures.
Yep.
All right. You in sync with the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's how you're there. You're present in the spirit. You know, hey man, scripture say this. I gotta apply that, man. Yeah. All right. That's why that decree was put out to do 3 videos a week and link up once a week, so that your mind can be still locked into the scriptures. You can meditate and you can put together lessons, and the spirit can actually develop within you because you occupied in the work. But it comes that's why growth is. That's why you got to follow orders and grow properly. Because if you don't follow the things that Yahweh Bashim Awashai set up for you to follow, you're gonna fall off. Right? It's a simple thing. You know, it's a simple thing. Right? Go ahead, Barzal.
Verse 4. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men.
That's right. So wisdom exalts you. It lifts up your spirit. All right. You now you get to a level to where you can actually be around great men of wisdom, and you can speak without them looking at you sideways. Right. Because now you've acquired a level of understanding, a level of growth, and a level of wisdom to where you can even converse, all right, with men of great understanding, man. That's why it exalts you. Because they start looking to be like, hey, this brother moving in the spirit. This brother you've been labeled. I can sit down and I can break bread with him. Because he understands the mind frame now. Right. He understands the way we're taking as well, because he's taking it the right way. All right. Like the brother Ratazah said when we were off camera, when we was talking, he said, hey brothers, we're moving in the right direction, man. We're moving in the right direction. That's the spirit, man. Confirming that, you know, we walking this thing to the best of our abilities, man. That's right. I got something real quick, bars. Okay. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 18. It says, for through him we both have access by one spirit unto the Father. All right. And that's
right. Yep.
Verse 19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets.
Right. See, we're actually attachments of the Spirit of the Lord. The Most High actually put us back into a spirit, so we got to even work and labor like an apostle and a disciple. And where's the work located? The doctrine. That's right. And pushing the energy out, teaching, exhorting, you know, showing and directing men to that light, which is Yahweh Shai, that beacon of light. So when the Lord does come down, he knows the spirit, just like it tells you in the time of Egypt, when the blood was being sprinkled on the doorpost. So when the death angel came, he knew where to pass over. So even in the spirit, that's what we're doing. We're sprinkling the blood of the Lord in our inward parts. So when Yahweh Shai does come, he knows who to deliver, so to speak.
It says, Yahweh Shai himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. You see? So it says Yahweh Shai being the chief cornerstone. All right. Now everybody is a part of that building and is fitly framed together. All right. That's why the scriptures say what? Take heed thereunto how every man labor, or how every man work. You know, so in this thing, you gotta, you know, in the truth, growth comes through time, man. Right. Growth has to be developed. This truth becomes an actual skill, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's an actual skill. You know, and everybody knows that skill is acquired through time. You're not just gonna pick up a basketball for 1 year and you doing shit like Michael Jordan. Right. Not even 2 years. You 8 years old picking up a basketball, and now 2 years later you doing shit like Michael Jordan. It might not even be 8 years, man. But as you continue to work, you know, and continue to apply certain aspects of the game that you've learned since you picked the ball up, your skill set grows. You become a better player. It's the same thing in the truth. All right. You probably got Jakes out here that's 8, 9 years old that can like go in. They can tell you the ins and outs of basketball, man. Right. They can tell you the starting lineup on every team, the coaches, everything. They can break the game down. Yeah. Until you put the basketball in their hand, you like, this motherfucker here don't know how to play. Right. You know, and that's the same thing in the truth. You can have a man that can push out scriptures, regurgitate a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of stuff that they've looked into. But then when it comes time to apply those same words, you're like, bro, what the fuck are you thinking about? It's the same thing, man. That's why, you know, proper growth and wisdom is very key in the faith, man. That's how you develop. Like the brother Barzal mentioned earlier, prayer, fasting, being around the brothers. All right. Meditation is good.
Yeah, pondering on these things.
Yeah, reading, studying, because reading and studying is two different things.
Right.
All right. Reading, studying. All right. You know, going to camp, doing your videos, reproving the brother, taking reproof. All these things are essential and key pivotal things to your growth, and that's how you properly grow. All right. Now you can have some men, they grow. You will see them grow, but it's like this man growing the wrong way.
Right.
And eventually that plant is gonna start to lose steam and it's gonna start to lean over until it dies out. Now, if you properly rooted and built upon a firm foundation, you're gonna see proper growth. All right.
Right.
I'm gonna continue finishing this. It says, this verse 21, it says, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord.
And we represent that building. The individuals of great millstone. And the more we come together and frame ourselves with the proper mind frame, which is the cornerstone, Yahweh Shah, and build upon there, we're gonna see how this thing is, which we see it now, how it's being established.
That's right.
You know?
Verse 22 is last verse. It says, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit.
Through the Spirit.
Yeah.
House of David works. Yeah, the House of David. Now I'm saying, yeah, we built, you know, that house, man. You know, the House of David, man. Yeah. You know, through the Spirit, you know, we hope that they love that stop, man. You know, but that's what it's about, man. It's about building, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about one brother or this one, or it's not just about you. It's a body, man. It's about the members, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, you got to be able-minded, man.
That's right.
You got to be limitless in its truth. You can't have that mentality. Well, I don't know how to get to the next level. I'm going, airplane mode. Basically, I'm just gonna ride this 40 miles per hour to the end. Nah, you always got to try to ascend.
That's right.
Take your spirit from one level to the next, to the next. Yahweh Shah spoke about that glory to glory. And it said he waxed in wisdom as with the statue. As the statue grew, so did his wisdom. So when it's true, we have to always push ourselves forward. You can't even stay in place in this thing, man. You can't go backwards, and you can't be jogging in place. You got to be jogging forward.
It's constantly moving.
Constantly moving. Right? So you got to be constantly motivated. You know, which that word motivate and move, it's interchangeable words. Motivated, to be active, always pushing. You know, producing. That's another thing too. You got to always produce, do something. That's actually conducive to life, health. Right. Even in your downtime, you shouldn't be watching garbage that's just dragging your mind down, engaging in garbage that's just crushing your mind that has nothing to do with the truth. Everything should be cycled in the same, because this is your frame. This is your mind frame.
That's right.
If it ain't got to do with the spirit, got to do with, really does it. Anything pertaining to the scriptures is totally obsolete outside of this truth, then, it's bullshit.
That's right, bro.
And of course, brothers got daily lives. They have quality that they have to engage in. That's the reality of being in Babylon. But you got to scale that bullshit back, and you got to maximize your time to build it, man. That's why you have some men that actually built for years, and they still haven't, got to the position where they're supposed to. Growth stunt.
It's something that's lacking within their regular life. It's something that's holding them back. There's certain things that they're not willing to change about themselves. So it's stunting your growth. Like the brother Barzal made out a good point about gold being malleable. All right, being able to be shaped into any form. Now the scriptures say what? Gold is tried in the fire. The gold it makes an analogy towards Israel. Israel is referenced to as gold. So if gold is malleable, that means you have to be formable as well.
That's right.
You have to know how to, stop doing certain shit. All right. Because what happens is Jake like to hold on to demons. That's where you get a demon possession.
Yep. That's right.
You don't want to stop this. You willing to do everything, but now I don't know if I want to stop doing this, man. But that ain't how you grow. You stunting your growth, man, because growth. What do they call it? Growing pains.
Right.
Sometimes it's painful, man.
Yeah.
It hurts your ego.
Yeah.
If you ain't ready for your ego to be hurt, or you ain't ready for your ego to take a lick, this the wrong thing, man.
Right.
Your ego, your pride is gonna get hit. It's gonna get hit up in this truth, man. You know, and when you allow your pride to get a cut, after that cut, you grow. Right. You develop.